Okay, thank you. So I would like to welcome everyone, 300 and, oh, it's counting, 300 something. Welcome to this conference. I will moderate the conference, and our speaker for today is Coach Yasser. So please welcome. Okay, so the poll says that measures how excited you are to join this event. Most of you are at level 4 out of 5, and most of you picked number 4. Most of you, and then down to give 5, and then only very few, only 5% didn't want to join. I think not at all, but that's fine. It's an honest answer. We respect that. And then the second question is that the statement. I think Coach Yasser should listen to this one. In my on-job training, I realized that English I learned at STIP was useful. And most of them are at rate 5. So they agreed. Why are we taking this at the poll? Because today, Coach Yasser is going to discuss about maritime English, not your daily routine. So, Coach Yasser, with your experience, you can start deliver your coaching, your presentation to us, to the students. Thank you. Please.
Okay, copy. But before we jump into the material, should I answer the questions that you just gave me right now, or just after the presentation?
After.
After, okay. Okay, so then, okay, good afternoon. It's afternoon, right? Yeah, so afternoon,
Yes,
everyone. Yeah, before we jump into the material, yeah, let me introduce myself. I am Yasser. I am from the technical department. I am from the batch 54. And today we're going to the scenario about the maritime English, not your daily routine. So before I jump into the material or to the presentation, that I would like to ask you guys a question. But before I'm talking this way, but just let me know if I'm talking too fast or too slow or not clear or whatever. Okay. So before we jump into the presentation, I would like to give you a question about your perspective, about your opinion, about what's in your thought about the maritime English in your daily routine. Okay, Miss, can I ask you to open the slides already?
Oh, okay. I will try.
Yeah, so let's show them what we have in the presentation.
Oh, wait, I have to.
So basically, this presentation is all about what will you do after you graduate, because based on the experience, I believe you already did your C project, your land project, your those kind of things that you already did in the 5th and 6th semester, correct? So this time I would like to ensure that you're aware of the English, the importance of English in the daily work right after you graduated.
Okay, can you see the screen now?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now, as the topic as I speak of, this is about the maritime English, not your daily routine.
Okay.
Why do I put the question mark? Because it is a maritime English, not the general English. I will tell you furthermore. Next slide, please.
All right. Excuse me for a while. Everyone, can you please mute yourself?
All right.
Please mute yourself.
Okay, Brianna Rifki, can you explain it slowly? I have unstable connection. Okay, so I will try to explain it slower. Don't worry, I got you. You are welcome.
Everyone, please mute yourself. Okay, please, can you?
Motor nggak tuh?
Okay, Coach Yasser, you can continue.
Okay, so I can continue, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, can we go to the second slide, Miss, please? Hello, ma'am, do you copy? Hello, ma'am.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, can you open the second slide? Okay, so
Yes.
this one. So, okay, guys, so back to the topic. This is about the maritime English. So, I would like to ask you before we jump into the material, can you just share me the thought about why maritime English? Why not general English? Do you understand the questions, right? So, the question is, why do you think we need the maritime English instead of the general English? So I have like 2 minutes. You can answer your thought in the group chat, in the chat room. And yeah, let me read after you write it because we will recording this right now.
Everyone, would you please mute yourself?
Okay, so now the task is I want to know about your opinion why maritime English is used in our area instead of the general English. So please share your thought in the chat room and I will read it out once if anybody is finished with the statement. Because it is important. Okay, but why maritime English? Why not the general English? Anybody else have a thought? Because we're working the maritime. Okay, because we're working the maritime and because there is a little different from the general English. Good point. Little different from the general English. Because maritime English needed in the maritime world, obviously. The one I point out here is because maritime English is different, okay? And another one from Daniel, because it's different. We are and a maritime workers, the different example, bridge in general, jembatan, and in maritime English is anjungan. That's exactly what it is. Because it's more specific, okay, because we are working in the maritime world, okay, because there are some words in maritime English that are different, actually because general English is for general and maritime English is for people in maritime industry. Okay, okay, it's very good answer. That's why I love to explain this to level 4 cadets because you'll have more understanding compared with the juniors. Okay. Maritime industry use English maritime because to make all sense, you want to go by SimCP from IMO. Exactly. Can we get extra bonus if you're answering this? Yeah, you can come to me after. Okay. Alfian, thanks to copy the questions from the answers from your friends. Okay, everyone. So that is exactly what you're writing, what you wrote in the chat room. That is exactly the difference between the maritime English and the general English. Okay, so next we are going deep through it. Okay, ma'am, can you please next slide, please? Okay, this is the first subject that you need to know, and I'm sure you're already aware about this. So I will just read it because first English. Before we jump into the maritime English, I would like to talk about the general English that I'm sure of you already know. As a worldwide standard, as a result of a colonization and historical migration of English-speaking populations, and the predominant use of English as the international language, of the trade and commerce, or a lingua franca. English has now become the most widely used second language. This is the important one. Although the standard English is generally used in public and official communication and settings, there is a range of register or stylistic levels, such as journalism English, academic publishing English, maritime English, as I give the underline, and etc., that group by the linguistic. Okay, so this is what makes English have the differences between each stylistic level. Okay, next slide. Before we jump into the next topic, I again want to know about your opinion. Why does maritime English have the bigger capacities on the vocabularies than the general English?
General English.
Yeah. So this is your. I want to know about your another opinion. Why does maritime English have the bigger capacities on vocabularies than the general English? Time is yours. You can answer in the group chat, and we'll talk about it again later on. We do a lot of practice at the sea because it is useful to improve the speaking when we go to on board. Okay, because maritime English is useful to improve the speaking when we go to on board. Because maritime English is the specific told about vessel activity. Okay.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because maritime English is the specific telling about the vessel activity. Because maritime has a different meaning from the general English because it's influenced by several mother language. Damn, yeah,
Really?
you are correct. Yeah, I will go through it. Actually, we have like I got internet opinion, ma'am, from the internet that talking about this mother language seafarer whatsoever?
Sorry, diulang mana, Bu?
Because maritime English is advanced from general English. Correct. Because we work a lot in various work. Okay, so I got all the point from you guys, the type. Thank you so much. This is very, very exactly what I'm going to talk about. Because maritime English is kind of practical language that have many specific vocabulary. Because it's more specific in the maritime activity. Because maritime English have more vocabulary or have more term than the general English. Correct. That is exactly what I'm about to tell you guys. Okay, Miss, next slide, please. Yeah, because that's why from all of your answer, I'm sure of you agree what I'm writing right now. It is about the maritime English is bigger than regular English, correct? Because
Right.
you guys already said that, and I got those words. Maritime English is said to be a product of life, the ocean itself. That is what makes the maritime English is more advanced, just like you guys said, because this is a product of life of the yeah, because the maritime vocabulary is totally different with the general, even with the same word whatsoever. Okay, now I'm telling about the maritime English deeper in the next slide. Okay, Miss, next slide, please. Here, you can see the maritime English from Indonesian perspective. In Indonesian context, for Maritime Academy as a maritime education and training, or MET, this MET you need to remember, everyone, because this is the maritime education and training, what we have now. This reality becomes a prospective opportunity and challenge as well, in order to produce the qualified seafarer having a good communication skill, which is English. By acquiring a good English skill, the seafarers are expected to be able to compete with other seafarers from the other countries across the globe. Because, you know, we are now uh, having education in STIP, which the graduates is coming out as international challenges. So you will compete globally. You will compete with another nations. That's why you need a proper English as your new standard of life, of your new standard of communication. And now you're going to maritime. This is going more advanced. So standard is not the point anymore. Just like Renaud said in the chat room, maritime English is an umbrella which covers everything from the law to the history, to business and maritime industry also, to language course and even further beyond. That is exactly why we are talking about maritime English, because I'm sure this is the advance that you will jump through. You will get this for sure once you graduate and once you touch the working area, because I'm sure that you already know about your working areas from the land project or sea project before. Okay, now I'll continue. By the STCW 2010, the MET graduates across the world are required to have a good standard of English competencies, either spoken or written from the communication form of the communications. This is why the standard is not the standard anymore, because this is already like should be in yourself, that you already understand and know how to compete with people by the English, because English is just like your regular, like your weapon, not weapon actually, it's just like your bridge to deliver your thoughts to people, right? Just like this from Safri and Danny, because maritime English is very important to all of us in our college stuff for a good career. Good career means that you can compete internationally, because I'm sure that you're come to this campus that you want to go international, right? So Miss, we can go to the next slide, please. So after all the talks then, so what is actually the maritime English? So now I'm giving you the term. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is the point of the presentation. Maritime English is a navigational and safety communications from ship to shore and vice versa, ship to ship and onboard ships that must be precise, simple, and unambiguous. So it will not have a different meaning. Also, so as to avoid a confusion and error, there is a need to standardize the language that we used. That's why we have this maritime English, just to avoid confusion and error, because we have like meanings and we have like a specific machineries, specific terminologies and everything. Okay, so I have a comment that, do we live to only looking for a job? We should aim something bigger than looking for a job. That is exactly. Now we are not talking about the job, but we are talking about the working world, the job world, the area that you're entering after you graduate from here. That's why I'm saying we are here graduate to be an international standard that you can compete with everyone else. But here we talk about the industry. I'm not specifically talking about the industry. I'm just trying to tell you about the environment that we have once we graduate, and how do we face the working area? How do we face the atmosphere about the working space? That I'm aware that you already understand about the working spaces because you already went from your land project or your sea project, and this is just to tell you about the maritime English is the one that your savior. So that's why I'm telling you why the maritime English is important, because this is to avoid confusion, and it have to be precise, simple, and unambiguous, just like it said. Okay, so next slide, miss, please. Okay, so we are now talking about personal thought. My speaker is broken, so I only hear a small voice. Okay, everyone, can you hear my voice clear or?
Yeah, I can hear you like very clear.
Okay,
Very
so
clear, sir.
okay, at least
Okay.
Joshua, you can turn up your
Yeah,
volume or
please
use a
come
speaker.
back.
Okay, so I would like to share you guys about my personal thought. This is based on my experience. This is about the general English and the maritime English. So I got my skills just like anybody else. I am reading comics, listening to music, and seeing the lyrics just to see the lyrics, watching English movies with or without subtitles, took English classes, and etc. Just like general situation, because I'm a normal people. I'm learning just like you guys are normal people also, right? Unless you're an alien, then it's not my problem then. But how this general likelihood could handle memory timing skills? What are the same between those? So again, now I would like to hear from you guys between the maritime English and the general English. What are the same? Because we've been already talking about the differences. Now I would like to hear from you guys. What are the same between the maritime English and the general English? You can share in the group chat. And
Yeah, I'm sorry, Alfonso. I cannot do anything about the screen for now. I know it's disturbing. The lines are disturbing, but I cannot do anything about it. Like technically, I'm not that good. Sorry.
oh, what's that?
Now that's better.
Okay, now that's better, right?
Okay, so
Okay,
everyone, we are waiting for your answers.
okay. So everyone, I would like to know from your opinion, what are the same between the general English and the maritime English in just a short sentence.
What do you think similar about the two things? That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, we are waiting for your answers.
Sorry, my signal is lagging. Okay, like.
Okay.
Okay. There are also some words in general that we can use in maritime English, correct? Okay. There is
Correct.
some words that in the general English that we can use in the maritime English, correct? Okay, the same general and maritime English is just a a communication, but it's just how we communicate with others. Ha ha. Yeah, that is the point. Again, they are English. Correct. They both actually almost the same, but in some circumstances and maritime English have some unique words. Same function for us to make we know that what people say. The same word and similarity. Yes, it's just the same. Yeah, actually, this is exactly what I'm going to say. God, I like your comments. It's already like representing my thoughts. I think the similarity English itself and maritime English skills are the conversation between one and another. Like nelayan, we can use general English only. Which used in a specific maritime, they will be confused.
That is very good point, Dita.
Yeah, that is exactly. Maritime English was born from the general English. Okay, this is I want to highlight. So the same is actually it's the same but advanced, just like I said in earlier. That's why maritime English was born from the general English. Exactly, that's what I want to say. And also the difference is about where it's used.
Yeah,
Okay, it's in advance. When general English can be used almost everywhere, maritime English mainly used on only about the maritime topics. Yes, in the
right.
specific jobs or the specific area. Me, waka. Okay. but both of all using English. I don't remember we have French
Yes.
name Dita.
Okay, general English, maritime English. Yeah, your answer is very correct that maritime English is for specific domains only. Maritime domain.
Yes, the
Right.
maritime domains, the specific areas. But the same is that it have same just in advance. So because the basic are same, so the way you learn are the same, and the advanced thing that you will need to not improve but find a new way to make it specified. Okay, Miss, next slide,
Next.
please. So that's all, guys. That's why I'm saying the same is you have a good grammar, good vocabularies, good terminologies, and a good confidence. Confidence is the key of English. You have a very good English, you have a very good grammatically, you have a very good terminologies, but if you don't have confidence to say it loud, then that's a problem. Okay, so from until this point, I'm pretty sure that you're already aware about about the maritime English and how do we use it and why is it important. So Miss, can we just next slide, please? Okay, so before we jump into the next topic, I again want to know about their opinion because I'm always asking about your opinion now because I'm aware that you already the level 4. You have the junior below you. You are the one who's graduating soon and facing the world of the job or world of the work atmosphere soon. That's why I need your opinion as a like in the managerial levels that now you're stepping on. That's why right now I need your opinion. Does maritime English is harder to learn than the general English? So again, you can share the thought in the chat room, and I will read your opinion and let's see how it's going. So this time, I want your opinion about maritime English. Is it harder to learn than the general English? Yes, because it has different meaning each other words. Okay, harder in the terminology because they have another meaning from the general English. Another meaning. Okay, because maritime English is used for seafarer or people who is jumping into the area. Yes, it
Mm,
does.
not only for seafarers, actually.
Yeah, correct. Because for people who's working in the area, just like the container, the offices, the terminologies, even the
The
terminal,
port.
the
Yeah.
port, the terminals. No, because it's just add more vocabulary to our brain. Absolutely not. Okay, add more vocabulary. This is a good point. More vocabulary means that the vocabulary you already have It's the meaning, right? Okay, this is the difference between the general English and the maritime English. Sometimes you have the same words but different meanings that you will find out in the next slide later on. Okay, because the vocabulary and the term is not common to other people. That is exactly. Even I think maritime English are like you use more specific, so it doesn't have biased meaning to another sailor. It's like the bahasa maritime, but in English. It's easy as learning as English itself. Okay, so back to the questions. Does maritime English is harder to learn than the general English? I can see from all of your answer, the point is it's not hard, but you just have to put more specific, like a special attention to some terminologies or vocabularies. That is what I'm going about to say in the next slide. Miss, please. This is the point. Maritime English is the specialties of words. Why do I say this? Because maritime is a special. Why do I say special? Because it's specific. So once you come to the maritime world, that you will use the general English for sure, but you will again use the maritime English, and this is you will use in the daily common in your daily basis when you're working. Okay, so the specialties of words, I will explain the next slide, please, Miss. Okay, I get from Aldi. Maritime English is easier than the general English, but in some type of vessel, there is a little different definition with the procedural present speaking. Okay, I would not say it's easier, but yes, it is easier to understand if you already know the basic, because it I can say it will be easy if you know how to get there, because that is the point that why it makes it special. Just like the slide I'm going to tell you guys. Because why special? Because not everyone will understand even when you're listening it well. For specific purposes, maritime English has a preferences for certain lexical terms that rather than other with synonymous meaning, so as to ensure the highest intelligibility and least possibility of misunderstanding. So now, this is the word not everyone will understand. This is the maritime English. This is the point. Not everyone will understand, even when you're listening it well. Okay. You already know the word, you already know the meaning in the general, but when it comes to the maritime, it's just like a different meaning, totally. So next slide, please, Miss. So this is why I'm telling why special. This is just from my perspective. This is based on my experience. That makes the general English is way more different than the maritime English. You can read below, and I will read from my side also. So when I was a cadet, I had so many confusion about the vocabularies that I already have. But it turns out that different meaning. Even when I looked up in the general dictionary that we have in our houses, it gave me nothing, such as the word of plant. In the dictionary, plant means tumbuhan, even gedung bahkan. That's from the dictionary that I have. But when it comes to the maritime English, I found out the plain words in the boiler plant. So I know what the boiler is, and I know what the plant is. But the boiler plant, I mean, like, if we are converting to the general English, the meaning, it will be like tumbuhan ketel uap or gedung ketel uap. I mean, I really get confused, period. That's why I'm saying the vocabulary is not just the additional. Sometimes you found the words that you know already the meaning in the general, but when it comes to the maritime English, you will find another meaning. Okay, that's is the point about that. And I would like to say we have some grammar reference for maritime English. But before I going to here, I'm pretty sure that you already have some kind of experiences in your working areas. You already have some experiences in your ship, maybe. So, I mean, like, do you agree about my perspective earlier, or you have a thought? This one, yeah. I would like to know again about your opinion about the thought. This is the very important, the main point of this. So the personal thought, do you agree or you disagree? If you agree, do you have any experience on board that maybe you can share to your friends? Or if you disagree, then let's we discuss about it.
Yeah, or if I can make it clarified, like Coach Yasser is asking you if you have also found some words like this in your experience, whether you are on board for nautical and technical cadets, or also the port and shipping cadets. If you have found words like this, that it's completely different from what it means in general English and what it means in maritime English, please type in your response in the chat box.
Yeah, maritime English. Thank you, Miss. So now some of the guests already have it. Just like maritime English is just important for who want to go on board, but generally as for all people. Bridge, jembatan is confusing. In maritime, bridge is engineer. That is exactly. And again, from Dita, I think it's just like if you got business, for example, with the Korean businessman, and you need a translator, but the translator only understand Korean, but in general, not in specific like business, while the business itself has specific still okay. So, like inflation, that only specific person understand the meaning of inflation, is it? Yes, correct. That is the specific, but we are not talking about the maritime, right?
Who is this
Okay.
Dita?
See,
What is cat fines? What is it? Cat
cat
fines. What
finds.
is it, Moira? Cat
Okay,
cap.
so cat finds. I will tell you guys about it later on. So kiri left, and also in maritime we have port side. That is what exactly port side. You will maybe in some dictionary you will find it in the general already, but in most of the dictionary maybe I believe it's not right, Miss. I think the word is not fine in the general. Watch, jam tangan. Yeah, exactly. Because when you come on board, watch is like the duty, but actually it's from the general also. Also bow, halwa not bow, busur. That is exactly the thing. Boiler plane, same like the sewage, not sewage, but sewage plane without the A. Okay, what is cat fines? Now I'm telling about the cat fines. Yeah, you know already fines is like the amount of money that you need to pay when you're like breaking the rules. Cat fines is when you're doing like a black business. So
Okay.
when you're doing a black business, then they caught you that you need to pay the fines. That's the meaning of the cat fines, meaning that the fines that everybody knows it's already from the something the illegal.
Illegal.
The illegal, yes, correct. And boiler plant, just like and starboard side. Bridge wheelhouse rumah ban. Yeah, this is what is exactly the topic that we are discussing. That I'm aware that you already found the differences, starboard side and port side. Again, my cap always. Where is it? My cap always said sekrida. That word make me confused. Sekrida, sekidra, sekidra. I don't even know what that is. What is he Indian? Starboard side, port side, bosun store, toko bosun. Equipment. Okay, some of you also mentioning about the pronunciation, like how the Korean talk, how the Indian talk, how the European talks. This is the way that you're learning. That's why I said your confidence is, we need it, because through the confidence that you can pronounce it well. Please note, we have a difference between pronunciation and accent. It's okay if you have your special accent, like Indian, like they have their accent, Indian accent. Filipinos, they have their Philippines accent or Tagalog accents. And Indonesians, mostly we have also like Japanese accent or Bataknese accent. But do not mix it with the pronunciation, because we only have one pronunciation, but it can turn out different meaning, just like the words. So when you comes to accent, it's okay if you have like a specific accent, like Japanese accent or everything. But when it comes to the um, like pronunciation, it will have the same pronunciations, like how to say door, how to say two, how to say tiga dan pohon gitu, like three and three. And in maritime English, cabin, kamar, and general, room, kamar. Yeah, this is exactly the line. What is the monkey island? What is the bow? What is the boatswain? Boatswain actually is the origin of the bosun. I was reading in an army regulation regarding the limit of the sulfur, but I found this word and no one I asked understand about this word. Yeah, about the sulfur limitation in the IMO, actually it's just like a new regulations. Actually it's an old regulation, but they implemented like amended. So if you found out about the seca pollutions, that you will find mostly is in the European. So about the IMO regarding the limit of the sulfur, you can find out in the SECA terms that you can find it in the internet. Is plenty there. Monkey leather. That is exactly 10-10-10 monkey leather. I'm not trying to be boastful to anything, but from what I searched, the reason why the left side is called port is because since a long time ago, sailor usually burn with, okay, this is some of the historical story. Very good that you find out. Line, boom, guts. Okay, this is actually what the thought. This is actually my perspective. Why my boiler plan have a different meaning when it comes to the general English and the maritime English. The point is the okay, so my voice is good. What's the meaning of hip hop? Hip hop actually is hop up. So, or hip hop is actually from the English, but they're saying like a new slang like hip hop. Hip hop is just like how you lifting the things, just kind of it. It's like a heaving up or hip hop. So just like that. Okay, so back to the topic. This is why, thank God that you all already understand why is it difference, because you already had the experience and you already shared in the group chat, and I'm so thankful for that, for sharing this. And this is why I want you to at least give it more awareness that why do you need the maritime English, because this is your new world, this is your world that you're going to face right after you finish with your schools. Okay, so now next slide please, miss. This is why I'm saying the grammar reference for maritime English. So in this section, I would like to share or ask you, because for let's say in the general English we can find the word easily in the dictionary, in the books, in the everywhere, in even in the general people that you want to ask. Okay, so but what about the maritime English? Where do you can get the terms? Where do you can get the vocabularies and everything? Okay, so now next slide, miss, please. Yes. So now is the thing. Do you have online source for learning the maritime English or terminologies? I mean, like we have out there in the internet plenty of sources that you can find out, but because for some people, because they don't know how to look it up, because they don't know how to search, that makes us lazy to find out. So in those opportunities, I would like to ask you guys if you have the online source or um, anywhere that you can find it to learn or to find out the terminologies or the vocabularies, do not hesitate to share, because sharing is caring. Do you have any recommended book? Yes, I do have. Okay, so here you can share from where you can learn, because I already have one example that I will give to you later on, but we have 300 more people that I'm aware, and I'm sure that you have your own sources of sharing. Maybe this is the opportunity for you guys who still don't know where to find it, that you can share to your friends that where do I I mean, like, where do you can find the words and where do you can learn the words and everything. For example, for some people, they already sent me this marineinside.com. That is exactly general that what seafarers open for finding of terms. Also, there's an app named Maritime Dictionary, and we can use it offline. Robert Josefano, that is exactly what I want to talk. We have the dictionary, but the Maritime in the phone that you can save it in your phone. Thank you so much for sharing this. I even just noticed it now. We have the online, sorry, we have the application Maritime Dictionary. Okay, this is the Maritime Dictionary offline, and we have Marine Inside, and we have also books. Okay, from Leonardo, may I have a question? What would you do if the other foreign crew, for example, chief engineer, force you to understand and doing what he said, but he speaks using a wrong maritime English? That's confusing.
Can I
That
answer that?
sorry, ma'am.
Can I answer that, Leonardo's questions? Later you can add.
Sure.
Okay, so you can answer it from your experience. I'm going to answer it as a nerd. Like I read studies about this thing.
Okay.
So what would you do if the other foreign crew, for example, chief engineer or even the captain, asked you, or here you use the word force, that's a negativity, but ask you to understand and do something, and you know it's wrong, and you confuse. First, if you know it is wrong, it means you are not confused. That is the thing. So it's the attitude. Second, because of there are so many accents, what I'm talking here is based on studies, okay, on maritime Englishes. I even use it in plural because there are a lot of accents and
Yes,
dialects.
agree.
So the idea is successful communications. If the message gets transferred from one speaker to the listener, whatever the process it takes, as long as it gets you, then it is successful. So if you confuse, you can express your confusion. Like you can say, I don't understand. Can you repeat it? I don't know, sometimes it can be rough on board, but that is how you do it. And stop thinking that, oh, he's speaking wrong English. His English is broken and so on. Too many grammar mistakes. You are killing yourself doing that. Like
Yes.
that's an experience from me dealing with you students. Like whenever you speak to me in broken English, like I have to handle it myself. Like, oh, that is okay. Grammar is not everything. Now I just learned that. So now
Yes.
please go from your experience.
That is exactly, miss. Grammar is not everything, but the main point, the maritime English, in especially on board, that is how to make sure. Just maybe you know the term, I know, you understand, I understand. So the point is how to make everyone understand. But by the maritime English, we have the words that it's exactly it, and you cannot find it in another terms. So from your questions that I can see, this is like Ma'am Nancy the telling us, this is talking about the attitude. So you know that is wrong, you know that is mistakes, but maybe it's from your opinion, then you just um how I can yeah then it's already like, you know, it's your chief engineer, your captain. For me myself personally, I don't care if you're captain or whoever. If it's if it's not correct, it's not correct, but doesn't mean that I have to clarify, because again, the point of the communication is to make each other understand. But why do I want to you guys to have a very good maritime English? Because this is, we are talking about the verbal. Okay, this is about the verbal. But you, I'm sure that once you graduate from this, you will be an officer. Officer means you're a manager. Okay, so for the paperwork, now we're talking about the paperwork. You have a report to do. We have an incident to report. You have the documentations that you have to record on the letter or in the computer. And this is the time that you need a good maritime English, that, you know, just to formality. And this is just different way of understanding, because when, just like Ma'am Nancy said, for the for physical communications, yes, we can do just, you know, I know English, you know, just like how the way. So it doesn't matter like if he's giving you misspelling or whatsoever, as long as you understand, it's okay. But when it's come to the paperwork, so I believe it will need more formality in the content.
Yeah.
So I hope that's answering you guys' questions. Okay, so now we're back to the topics about the links or books. If you have it, like I said, maybe you can copy it. I even take a screenshot of this maritime dictionary and the references. Seamanship techniques by DJ House. I'm sure. Yeah, of course. myseatime.com, also one of good sites to learn about the maritime world. Okay, myseatime.com. I never heard this before, but sure, I will check this. And you guys, everyone, if you have time, just check it out and maybe it will give you something. And okay, we have also a link here. Here's a link for download the book. Okay, thank you so much, Shukurs. And this is the way. This is the way. I mean, like, you can share this to everyone, even in your group chat and WhatsApp for your batch or whatsoever. Press the hand button. Okay, so this is the point in this slide, that sharing is caring, that we already get some new link or some new books or some new applications to learn about maritime English. So this is my turn. Miss, can you next slide, please? Yeah, this is my link that you can open from the slide share. This is just like online book. This is 100% available online and free. So you can save this as you save the others opinion about the link and everything about the books. This is one of mine that you can save, that you can maybe, you at home, you spend your times maybe watching movies and everything. Maybe this is one of your alternative when you're bored, when you're feeling like, oh damn, I'm so bored and I want to do another thing, that maybe you can, you know, iseng-iseng aja gitu, kayak opening this thing.
Okay.
Okay.
I will upload this material to your Google Classrooms after this is this finished.
Okay, maybe. Okay, thank you so much. Maybe you can upload it. Okay, so here is the thing, that level 4, everyone, you need to know. This is like more to personal psychologists. So as you know that you came as a student, you graduate as a maritime specialist. So you came as a high school pupil, but now you graduate, you're coming out as a maritime specialist, that everyone will have dreaming to have what you have now, right? So many people are still wanted to come as a maritime specialist, just like you are now and going to be soon. Then you have to own it. Why do I said you have to own it? You, when you own it, that's mean you know about it. When you own it, that you have the responsibility to gain more, to gain more, to learn, to be the specialist of it. So I'm here not as a senior, not as your friend. I'm here as your share people, not even just consider me as a stranger. But this is the one that I need you to gain in your brain. You are, because in some people there in another countries, just let's say it, because Indonesia have a really large potential, and we are graduating so many, like government is graduating a thousand of people, a thousand of cadets, to graduate. But the thing is, we need to compete with each other, and that's why I need you to learn about the maritime English, because this is your ammunition, this is your magazines to prepare yourself to learn everything about your working areas. So on it, that's all for today. So this is just my close word, and I can say thank you so much for listening. Maybe some of you will get bored and everything.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing it with us. If
Yeah.
you have questions, you can type it in the chat. We still have 3 minutes. If you have questions,
We still
after
have 3 minutes.
yeah, after this, I will post a reflection submissions for you, so you can submit what it is. You can write about 100 words about what you learned today from Coach Yasser, and you will submit it on your Google Classrooms, and this material will be uploaded there too. Okay, now I'm going to share everyone. So everyone, I will unmute everyone, so you can say hi to everyone or goodbye to everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Kemarin isi coach.
Coach. See you.
Afternoon.
Bye, Miss.
I love you,
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank
Happy
you,
holiday.
coach.
You
You
too.
too.
Bye,
I'm uploading
Miss.
to my
Thank you so
Instagram.
much. You too.
Bye
Thank
now.
you.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bless you.
Lama ketemu nih,
Bless
Pak.
you.
I love you too.
Assalamualaikum. God bless you.
Thank you.
Prepare your home.
You all.
Your home.
Buka puasa.
Bisa laptop di perusahaan.
Bani jangan lupa ya nanti malam.
Channel game. Frankie.
Bantu
Buka puasa Frankie.
Representing of the
Terima
students,
kasih.
304 students, I would like to say
Good night. See you next time.
for awesome presentation and sharing. Everyone has learned something.
Have a good day.
Can I get up?
You.
Thank you, Miss.
Yes.
Padau.
Thank you so much for listening.
Niranda masuk. Gue jangan lupa follow gua.
Follow senior.
Emang ada yang kenal gua?
Biar gini berarti.
Ada yang kenal gua, sobat kenal.
Udah tahu.